what, 7 days after?
7 days.
Craig David. So.
Okay, that was probably copyright.
You know, and I think the thing where most of us agree is that political violence should never be acceptable. The idea that you might have the most reprehensible views, the most disgusting things, you should have the right, and you should be safe enough to be able to espouse those views without losing your life. After his assassination, the main thing I took away, most of what I've seen after the fact is folks trying to figure out whether or not this guy's right wing or left wing, so they can, you know, pit blame on the other side. And
100%.
I've seen people call for violence. I've seen people have this like rhetoric of us versus them.
Good to fight back against evil. It is time for the righteous to prevail.
I know we don't have a lot of time. There's so many good speakers tonight. This is a
Wow, this is just like one fucking pixel. This might be 1.25 pixels if I have to be generous.
battle between good and evil. I wish we could compromise, but you can't compromise with evil. You can't compromise with evil.
I've seen people be like, well, the other side is the one that does it. And I think all of that really defeats the purpose of trying to make the world more safe, right? Because we got here, I feel as though this was a long time coming. And what am I saying a long time? We've been here for a long time. There's been a lot of political crime, a lot of political killings over the last 8 to 7 years. Bombing of abortion clinics.
An Irvine man has been sentenced to 6 years in federal prison for the 2022 firebombing of a Planned Parenthood clinic.
Different politicians who've been attacked, either attempts or assassinations that were completed on both sides, be it Democrats or Republicans.
Sources telling ABC News that 2 Minnesota state lawmakers have been shot, and when law enforcement officials say was a targeted incident.
There have been extremists and crazies who've gone out and murdered people on a semi-regular basis for the last 9 to 10 years that I've been looking at it and paying attention. Anybody who sits out there and goes, well, the lefties are the danger. In fact, this year, I feel like you guys killed quite a few politicians for that matter. There's been Trumpers who've done that.
Over the past 24 hours.
No, I wouldn't say he's both sides maxing. He does seem to be pointing out the right-wingers more. Yeah.
I've seen some in the media, some of the very same people who intentionally stoked murderous hatred against people like Charlie Kirk and Charlie Kirk specifically, now saying that we need to turn down the temperature and start having conversations. Well, Charlie tried to have conversations with you on the left, and you killed him for it.
The same way some Trumpers decided to go kill those Minnesota senators, right? They weren't out there advocating violence. They were at the
Some people say, like, oh yeah, why do you always go to these whataboutisms? Like, why do you always go to these, like, Republican examples? But the whataboutism is the entire point. If you're just, like, standing there and you're getting hit repeatedly in the fucking jaw, like, shouldn't you be able to retaliate? Like, at some point, like, if you're getting hit in the jaw and you punch back once, right, or a couple of times, like, huh? Like, shouldn't you be able to punch back once at the very least? Otherwise, you're put at a disadvantage of fucking dying? I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. People just kind of miss the point.
their homes, and this guy showed up to kill them and try to kill more of them. Doesn't mean you shouldn't tone down the rhetoric. But apparently Matt Walsh disagrees. Let's hear why.
You're killing us in our churches. You tried to kill our president. You killed one of our greatest advocates in Charlie Kirk. You have been openly cheering for and celebrating and encouraging and committing political violence for years. Antifa, BLM. You made a hero out of Luigi Mangione. And you celebrate Charlie's death even now. It's too late to turn the temperature down. This is not a time to hold hands. It's a time for justice. This is a time for good to fight back against evil. It is time for the righteous to prevail. For
to Precious reaction.
The sake of our
Jesus
country
Christ.
and for our families and our...
Wait, hold on. Was that a cut? Why was there a cut?
Time for the righteous to prevail. For the sake of our
I don't know why there was a cut, but okay.
country and for our families and our children.
Maybe they came back to it later. I don't know.
The righteous to prevail.
You denouncing all this shit that happened and you said this is wrong, and then you advocate for this shit to happen.
Yeah.
Perpetrating the same thing over and over again. It's never gonna stop. It's never gonna stop. But it's a sports mentality.
Fair.
My clique can do no wrong.
Yeah.
And will do no wrong. No, sometimes your clique does shit plays. It happens. Acknowledge that. I bleed red, I bleed blue. That's really me. It's one of the reasons why I was not going to sports, because those people were the people that were bullying me with that mentality. They were like, if you don't think like them, it's like, And then I was like, stay away from sports.
Nancy Pelosi's husband was attacked with hammers, and Donald Trump and his son were making fun of him.
Yeah, I mean, so far based video, I would say. I mean, I don't really have much to say here, to be honest. I mean, he's pointing out all the examples that someone should be pointing out, right? Yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty good. I don't know what else to say, okay?
Him after that attack.
And we'll stand up to crazy Nancy Pelosi who ruined San Francisco. How's her husband doing, by the way? Anybody know?
Jesus.
Well, how about
Oh, I didn't even know about that. What the fuck?
the fact that, you know, a lot of the people who stormed the Capitol on January 6th were calling for Mike Pence to be hung.
I'm telling you, if Pence caved, we're gonna drag through the streets. You politicians are gonna get drugged through the streets. Yeah.
I saw Asmongold say it was like 90% the left.
I think that in the last 5 years or so, especially.
Oh my god, I'm so glad they're calling out Asmongold. Holy shit, this guy has gone on for long enough, okay? This guy needs to be the target of larger channels outside of Destiny. Kyle Kalinske only made like one video on Asmongold, I think. It was just not enough, in my opinion. But yeah.
Since BLM, it's been a like 90% left-wing thing, but that doesn't mean that the 10% right-wing people are right either.
It's like, well, crime statistics disagree with you, and it says most of the political violence.
I thought Abba and Preach would be pro Asmongold. I'm actually kind of surprised that they are anti Asmongold because they seem to be the kind of people because Abba and Preach does kind of flirt with the idea of common sense, right? They kind of flirt with it. I wouldn't say that they're entirely with it, but Abba and Preach kind of flirts with the idea of common sense. Like, oh yeah, in a common scenario, this is what people would do. People commonly would think this. People don't be surprised when people think this about you, right? So, which kind of surprises me how they're willing to go against Asmongold, someone else who also tries to appeal to common sense. So, by the way, in a very wrong manner. But yeah, I don't know. He's pretty cool, I guess. Yeah, I guess I just didn't know that.
Is committed by the right. That's what the stats say. So for people to come out after the fact and just make it sound like it's one-sided is just bizarre to me. And then also people looking into the shooter and they're like, oh, I think he might have had a trans girlfriend.
Yeah, a trans roommate. What does that have to do with it?
Bro. And in a time where people say rhetoric is the reason that violence has happened, the moment Charlie Kirk died, I saw Trump get on and he was just like, well, these radical left Marxists,
Does anybody know like what Ethan Klein has said about the Charlie Kirk shit? Was he cucked or was he not cucked? And if he's not cucked, did he call out Asmongold?
So they're complaining about the fact that they call Nazis all the time. And what do they call everybody who's a radical left, Marxist, socialist, communist? It's like, okay, got it. Everybody does this kind of hyperbolic. If people don't like Charlie Kirk and want to acknowledge the fact that he had disgusting views, that's their right. And people try to cancel folks for that. I'm not with that at all. Okay, the guy did say some very disgusting things throughout his life. He said them very publicly, and people whitewashing him. I've heard people call him a good Christian boy. Maybe from your perspective, it's okay for people to have a different perspective. I certainly don't share the one.
He cried for the first reaction. No clue about later responses to the shooting. He cried a bit on the stream because he was scared shitless of crazy pro-pallies doing the same to him. I think that was it besides all violence bad. Yeah, that's not good. Obviously. Okay, so he was pretty cucked. That's pretty unfortunate.
Where he's some good... I've heard him say some really so that's my personal opinion.
Because ultimately, if you guys don't remember... they were willing to do the snarky shit back to Destiny because it wasn't them, right? Like, they only victimize themselves when they are the victims, right? Like, the problem with Ethan Klein is that they're selfish. They only care about themselves. They only care if they are the victims of something. So even though they propose, like, to be principled people, they are willing to do crazy shit if it's the opponents, right? Yeah, it's just not good, obviously. So I'm not surprised that they viewed it in a very selfish way, in a very selfish lens. It definitely is consistent with the rest of their character, you know?
You had a daughter and she was 10 and she got raped. and she was going to give birth, and she would and she was going to give birth, and she was going to live. Would you want her to go through that and carry her baby?
That's awfully graphic.
It's but it's a real life scenario that happens to many people.
The answer is yes. The baby would be delivered.
Oh, okay, great. So
Do you think that there should be free school lunch for all children?
No.
Why?
Of course not. Because parents should feed their kids, not the government.
What if they can't?
Go get a job.
A child?
The parents should go get the job.
Yeah.
This is important. First of all, this is really.
I want children to eat.
Of course I do. Show me a single child in America going hungry. Doesn't exist. Number two, we have churches, we have food shelters, we have billions, and it does not exist. We have a child obesity problem, not a child starvation problem in this country.
I mean, Joe Biden is a bumbling, dementia-filled Alzheimer's, corrupt tyrant who should honestly be put in prison and or given the death penalty for his crimes against America.
Right. This is one of my favorite clips. This is one of my favorite clips because if you elevate the rhetoric to a point where you end off saying something like this, you are essentially saying, you are in fact saying something like, won't someone rid me of this troublesome priest? Right?
I know we don't have a lot of time. There's so many good speakers tonight. This is a battle between good and evil. I wish we could compromise.
I mean, what do you do to evil, right? You destroy evil, right? Like, what do you do for evil? And then they describe Democrats as evil. Like, like, even the word destroy is misleading. You don't know what the word destroy even means. I mean, clearly they mean violence, right? Physical violence, right? Just like how Steven Crowder was advocating openly on Piers Morgan, right? He was literally advocating for massive retributive violence, or something similar of that wording, on Piers Morgan. Meanwhile, Piers Morgan pushed back hard against Destiny. Meanwhile, he was handing Steven Crowder a free W in that interview. It's just so cringe. I don't know. Why do people listen to Asmongold? He looks like he doesn't watch this every day. Well, because Asmongold on purpose, he tries to make himself like endearing. Like he tries to make his dysgenic lifestyle endearing to his viewers, right? Because the more people view his dysgenic lifestyle, the more that people who live his lifestyle get to feel like he's one of them. It's a very like it's a very like inwards kind of way of viewing at like your thing, and that's what his brand is. Like Asmongold's entire brand is that, and he genuinely lives that shit too, because he suffers from it physically. He suffers from his lifestyle physically. There's been examples showing that. Yeah. But that's why people listen to him, because they're like, oh yeah, they're just as like he's just as degenerate as me. Wow, that's great. Yeah.
But you can't compromise with evil.
Nice Ascot.
You can't compromise with evil.
I think the DOJ should immediately.
What do you mean he suffered? Got an example? Yeah, sure. So Asmongold, at some point, he got like heart palpitation or something, and he said to his chat that he had to like go to the hospital because he started to feel faint. He was about to faint or something because of his heart. Like his heart started to feel pain. He legitimately thought he was gonna die. He thought he was having a heart attack. Apparently it was something else. I don't know what it is. And he got his blood pressure taken, and it was extremely high. So even though Asmongold is skinny, his blood pressure is enormously high because of the nutrients of the food that he is eating. And it has essentially caught up to him. Yeah, I mean, if you are degenerate your entire life and then you're 35, you're no longer 21, by the way. Like, if you're 21, you still have time to fix yourself. Once you're 35 and you're still doing that, yeah, you're fucking yourself over. You're giving yourself an early death, right? So he ended up in the hospital. It turns out his blood pressure is obscenely high. Something you would expect in like a fucking 60-year-old or 70-year-old, okay? And yeah. And he's still living like trash, I guess. But, you know, hey, it is what it is.
Move to unseal all the Epstein documents in the Southern District of New York.
Yeah.
I think every file should be released to the public the same way as the JFK files.
Charlie Kirk got one call from the president, and this was his response.
Honestly.
Wait, Asmund is 35? No, he's like mid-30s. Like, I would say, like, he's not... I don't know his exact age, but he's in his 30s, yes.
I'm done talking about Epstein for the time being. I'm going to trust my friends in the administration. I'm going to trust my friends in the government to do what needs...
A martini, shaken, not stirred.
Prediction. Foods will not like the end of this video.
Because ABBA and Preach will do a call back to how they saw this coming as a symptom of the left.
I don't think they will do that based off of this tone, but thank you so much for $5 though, Silver King. Do you go to the gym? What's your diet? No, I don't go to the gym. My diet is trash. Does that answer your question?
Needs to be done. Solve it. Balls in their hands.
People in this day and age cannot emotionally multitask. You know that two things can coexist at the same time? I cannot wish someone harm, but also not be sad for the harm that happens to them. I don't wish it on them, but I'm like, you don't mean that you're wishing someone bad. You don't have to be celebrating and be like, I'm not gonna put my flag half-mast.
That was wild. Treating that dude like he was a national hero is crazy.
So,
I mean, veterans die every single day in the line of duty.
Yeah.
And the president will not do a damn thing. But this guy gets shot and then all of a sudden.
Hold on, someone DM me. I can't fucking fathom making 6 to 7 figures monthly for years and not getting a personal chef, trainer, doctor, etc. Goes to show how retarded he is. Well, he's like completely committed to. No, yeah, that's a good point, right? Because Asmongold makes like at least $1 million in ad revenue alone a month, right? And that's ad revenue alone. We're not talking about like we're not talking about we're not talking about donations. We're not talking about Twitch subs. We're not talking about anything like that, right? So he probably makes like $2 million a month, right? So he's making like $24 million a year. Yeah. So yeah, it is pretty retarded that you're that wealthy and you're not buying anything that will make your life easier or healthier even, right? That will have a chef cook you food, right? At the very least. Or any maids, because at least XQC hires maids, which is great. That's fine. I mean, it's okay to live a degenerate lifestyle if you actually hire maids. You have enough money to hire maids. Good for you. Okay. What you're doing is that as a rich person, you're stimulating the economy, which I cannot complain about. Okay. You're giving money back. You're giving money back to the economy. Maids got to have jobs, right? That's a good thing, not a bad thing. Okay. But he has to keep up with the presentation. He has to keep up with the presentation of being a degenerate, right? Which is why he doesn't like do any of that. Like he doesn't. The only reason he likes earning money is because it's a high score thing for him. It's a leaderboard thing for him, right? There's like evidence before that he gets salty at lower viewership numbers. He legitimately gets sad at lower viewership numbers. He legitimately gets sad at lower like business relations and stuff like that. Like for him, it's a high score, right? Like many other rich people. Like you'd be surprised how much rich people don't actually reinvest back into having a better lifestyle, but instead view hoarding cash as like a high score kind of thing, which is bad, by the way. If you hoard cash, that's bad. You need to give cash back to the economy. You need to be able to, like rich people need to be able to unilaterally be able to give money back to the economy by hiring maids, by hiring chefs, by hiring like these people if you have that much money, right? Yeah, I think that's a good thing to do that. Yeah. Yeah. The difference between Asmongold and ABBA is both believe in common sense, aka intuition, but people like Asmongold believe that all you need and facts are irrelevant. ABBA recognizes intuition can be wrong. Sure. No, but Asmongold also knows he's a hypocrite. Just by the way, there's like multiple videos, I'm sure, of like Asmongold saying, yeah, you know what? Who cares if we're the only people who do this or whatever? No, he's a grifter. Yeah. Like he's just an open fascist at this point. Asmongold is unironically an open fascist. He openly recognizes on stream that he is a hypocrite and he doesn't care. So like what other critique can you give to Asmongold at this point? This is why I don't feel bad for him when he lost his dad, right? Recently. Why should I feel bad for him losing his dad when he openly admits to being a fucking hypocrite and for being cruel? Yeah, of course. Fuck you. I'm not going to give any sympathy to you. Your dad is gone. So no more sympathy for your dad either. Like Jesus. Because he's dead.
They doing all this hubbub is crazy.
That's what I'm saying. So, but things can, yes.
Listen, I care about the living. I don't care about the dead, okay?
Yes, it is. It's not empathy. It's not compassion. There's this neutrality that is a possibility as well. especially when you're affected by the things that he's saying.
And you contributed. Like, if we're all honest, none of this is surprising because we've been inching towards this whole.
It's hilarious how much of a wasteful nobody, useless slob Asman would be without streaming, yet continues to argue as if hardworking immigrants are blights on society. Yeah, when he could be, I will say, like, XQC at least hires, like, Hispanic maids to go and clean his house. Though, to be fair, I mean, they look pretty horrified at what they see, but you know what? Yeah, Asman Go thinks everyone is evil, hence he can be evil as well. Well, yeah, but that's the game theory thing that Destiny was talking about, right? Like that's literally what Destiny was talking about. Because the way that conservatives view everything that is going on in the left is that they're literally going through a white genocide. Like, they unironically, the most extreme people believe, and by the most extreme, I mean like 60% or 70% of the Republican Party at this rate, they unironically believe that there is a white genocide or something similar along the lines of that, right? There's some kind of great replacement or white genocide going on. So obviously, you know, from their perspective, it's morally justified to be cruel, right? Like, why would you not be cruel to people who are trying to enact genocide against you? Of course. But that's their argument, right? That's how they justify everything. But that's a false world that we live in. Democrats want to live in the world of polite society, not in the world of genocide. Yeah. Stays kind of like me going to the restroom, sure. I don't think he does it to keep up appearances. Could be profoundly avoidant. I'm not sad when bad people go. I'm constantly harassed online. Yeah, sure. I mean, like I don't even need to bring up the fact that that 17-year-old trans girl that killed herself was like heinously mocked at by the right constantly for doing nothing except killing herself, I guess. How do you feel about smoking cigarettes? It's bad. Don't do it. Don't smoke fucking vapes either, okay? Jesus. It makes you look like a fucking asshole.
Whole time. We've been here for a while. All this extreme rhetoric, all this, you know, calling these people Nazis, calling these people Marxist, communist, radical, like all of this stuff.
I mean, call these people basically not human.
Yes.
Yo, Purunga Daddy, thank you so much for the one gifted sub, buddy. On Kick. Thank you. I appreciate that. Much obliged.
How many YouTubers have I seen calling for a potential civil war, okay, because of what's happening? How many people have I seen even post-attack still carry on with the exact same good versus evil? Who do they think is good? Their side, obviously. Their side is only full of good people, and the other side is the evil side. And so when you hear all this rhetoric, it's like, of course, this is where it's going to happen. Of course, when you inflame your audience to say this person deserves to.
Asmongold isn't evil, he's foolish and driven by revenge. I'm not sure how much I agree with that, considering how I would describe Nazis as evil, even though a lot of them just simply followed orders. So, like, yeah, I don't think that's a good argument, sorry. Yeah. Like, I would, like, otherwise you, like, no longer, I don't know, otherwise you kind of deprive the autonomy that goes into evil decision-making. Like, the thing is that, I mean, you can argue Russian soldiers are not evil because they are only following the orders of the Kremlin, but then, like, yeah, I don't know. I just don't agree with that. I'm sorry.
Be hung. This person deserves to be shot by gunfire or whatever it is. And people constantly hear this. They're going to internalize this good versus evil. And that's why you have people showing up to Pelosi house trying to kill him. Or why you have those Democrat senators in Minnesota being killed. Or why you had those Republicans shot at the Israeli embassy. We have made everything an existential crisis. And to a degree it is. But we don't know how to have good dialogue and understand these things. I'm going to caution everybody against it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who gets assassinated, whether it's me tomorrow or whatever. I would never, like, let's say it's me. Let's say it's me tomorrow, hypothetically. I'm out, a fresh and fit fan. I would.
So even though the way that they are talking about it is kind of both sidesy, I don't think it's actually both sidesy. It's very clear to me that they are pinning more blame on the Republicans by showing a bunch of clips about them, like advocating for violence. Like, to me, the way I kind of view this is that, yeah, this seems like a good video, right? Because they're actually showing a lot of examples of, like, Republicans also advocating for violence and still advocating for violence on top of everything else, right? So, like, to me, yeah, this is good. So let's just say if you're to use their rhetoric and if you're to make their argument without showing any of the clips, then yeah, I would view that as like to both sidesy for my comfort. But like the fact that they showed so many clips and stuff, yeah, that's good.
Never hope that you guys go out and try to do some retribution, okay? In that same token, as a lefty myself, if I would not want you guys to go, that's the wrong idea. no matter how bad it is out there.
How the same people that are always talking about gang mentality and the gangs are gangs and black on black, you having the same mentality. An eye for an eye. Or you do it, I'm gonna do it. That's how they do it.
And you know what I really didn't like throughout this whole thing? People were like,
I don't see how you can call Russian conscripts who are forced at gunpoint to fight evil. Seems normal to fight in that situation. The leaders are evil. Yeah, but then, I mean, sure, we can argue that, but at that point, the differentiation no longer matters, right? Because the thing is that we can call the Russian army evil, but then I guess, like, should we call individual Russian soldiers evil? I mean, whether or not you say they're evil or not, I just don't think that matters all that much anymore. You're still going to eliminate them as if they are evil, right? Because you got to defend your own country, or you got to defend yourself. So, I mean, at this point, like, it doesn't really matter how they were signing up, right? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter if they have to feed their family and they have to sign up or something. I mean, if we knew more about them, then yeah, sure. But like, even the obfuscation of how they signed up for the Russian army is in of itself evil as well, because we don't get to know their stories, and we don't know the context in which why they signed up, because that stuff is obscured in the fog of war.
Saying, oh, this might be a minority, this might be a trans person, as if that factors into the equation if it turns out to be true. But whenever it's a white person who ends up killing somebody else, do we all appreciate the fact that that's generally not part of the conversation?
No, it's not. It's never.
So the only conversation that's been had so far is whether or not they are one of these other identities. Now that it's not, it's completely excluded from the conversation. And I only bring this up because earlier this week or last week, there was the killing on the bus. How many people messaged me, are you going to talk about this? You're probably not, because it's a black person. I'm like, it's a mentally ill person who's been let out of after like 13 convictions. He should have been in jail, and he's schizophrenic and he was never put in. You making this a race thing is fucking retarded. However, I think it's interesting that 2 days later, a white young man goes out and kills somebody, and the discussion around race doesn't exist. And that's just something I just wanted to highlight as a small thing, because these two stories happen back to back. And I thought it was interesting that as a black creator, I always get messaged whenever another black, like I'm responsible, like it's my job to. I have white fatigue. I'm not even sure what that means, bro. You don't know about black fatigue? Yes, I know. I got the white one. I do think it's interesting that the moment this crime happens, that people go straight to identity politics, including the people who say they hate identity politics.
But it's white. It's just like, oh no, it's just
no. But like, it's just like, oh, are they minority? Are they trans? Oh, it's like, is that what you're hyper focusing on after a crime? Yes, they are. Right. The same way that their rhetoric gets toned down if they're a white cis male, they hate that shit. All of a sudden, a crime happens. Are they trans? Are they this? Are they that? It's like, oh wow. It turns out identity politics is very popular on the right.
They're looking for even the roommate.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know, because the reporting keeps changing every single day. I just think it's interesting. Identity politics is at the forefront of this thing. What is...
Bro, anytime I need to look for facts, I search for black people, okay? All right? Listen, anytime I need to get my takes from somewhere, I need black people in my life, okay? I never had black friends before. I'll probably never have black friends at this rate. But you know what? Okay, I can always trust black YouTubers to give me the correct opinion, okay? Hold on, what is this? Man sat behind stranger on bus, slit her throat in unprovoked attack, police. Oh yeah, and then I'm guessing that this guy is white, right? He's white, he is white. And I'm guessing that, identified reportedly witness. Oh, okay, so you're talking about a similar case that the right is not pointing out, the left, not pointing themselves out for, or something like that. I'm not Food's friend. Well, the thing is that I just feel like we haven't really talked in DMs or anything. Like, we haven't really talked about our personal lives. We haven't really, socialized in voice chat enough. And yeah, I don't know. Like, the thing is that for friendship, you have to put effort in it, right? Like, for me, I don't know. If you put enough effort, then I might consider you my friend.
The race of the individual who commits the crime? What is, well, as long as they're not white. If they're white...
Your mic sounds fuzzy? Hold on. Sorry, my bad. Hello. We're fine now, right?
We kind of just move right past it. What is the ethnicity? What is their sexual orientation? It's like, all this is just identity politics. I find it interesting that we're hyper fixating on that. Isn't that what we've all fought against for a long time?
Well, we didn't fight for it, and they certainly...
If you want to explain every factor of why people do bad things and therefore there's no quality of being evil, it eliminates the ability to use the word evil at all to describe people. It's possible to say someone is evil and respond appropriately, while understanding how they got there may be driven heavily by factors outside of their control. Just because you can explain things, it doesn't exonerate people. Exactly. There's probably a line A to B on how Jeffrey Dahmer became the person he is today, but everyone would describe Jeffrey Dahmer as evil. But does that mean that we should say that he is not evil because he could be mentally ill? Well, he could be mentally ill, but like it's just easier to just call him evil, right, and get away with it. I guess like calling someone evil is not really productive because you're not really getting at the core of like what's wrong with them, and I totally understand that. However, at the same time, you know, there has to be usage to using the word evil itself, right? There has to be a way to use the word itself without necessarily appealing to what ifs and other conditions and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. F? Is it F'd? Sorry. We're okay? Jesus. What's going on?
So they're gonna hyperfixate on that.
Even cancel culture. You know, for the longest time, I had a whole bunch of people tell me, remember that white lady who ran up on that kid and was calling him the N-word a bunch of times on camera?
Oh yeah, she got like a fucking $1 million off of that because she grifted off of that shit? Fuck me.
I had a lot of people, I had a lot of right-wingers telling me that this woman losing her job is horrible. She should be allowed to go up to a young 10, 13-year-old kid and call him the N-word a dozen times on camera and not be fired. But now with this incident, because people are celebrating, which I think is horrible, I think it's bad, I think it's stupid, but I would never think people should get fired for that. Should they lose their job? If you think yes, then you're for cancel culture. That's what it is. You're for people getting canceled because you don't like the way that they act or the way...
I don't know. Wait, what? F again? What? Dude, I can't tell if I'm being trolled. Because I'm not, usually if I am disconnecting, like if I am disconnecting, like OBS will tell me. Like OBS will tell me if I'm like having a like disconnection issues. By the way, blame the one viewer who is telling me to stream at a higher bitrate and a higher quality, okay? Because when that happens, I'm gonna have more connection issues. Because right now I cannot run at a certain bitrate or whatever the fuck. Like it gives me warnings. Just FYI, okay?
Way that they behave.
Yeah. But those same people on the right don't like cancel culture when it's against them. So it's convenient. It's convenience. It's convenient cancel culture. It's whenever you can control it.
Yep.
That's weird.
If my lips are not in sync, refresh the page, please. Thank you.
That's weird in a twisted way.
I don't think it's twisted. It just goes to show you that the groups who try to pretend like they're so different from the other side are quite identical. In fact, they'll engage in the same behavior. Yep. They'll pretend they're the victims of all the situations. Yep. They will do identity politics when it's convenient.
Stream pausing and glitching every few seconds. What the fuck? Because apparently they want to watch me at 1080p and not 720p. By the way, 720p is perfectly fine. I'm sorry that you want to watch me on your fucking big fucking 4K, HK, fucking 8K, 16K, like fucking television screen because you're incredibly wealthy, okay? But listen, because of your suggestions, it's fucking over. We recommend you use a stream bitrate of 6800. The fuck? Go back to 720p. We are not cavemen. Does OBS say you're dropping frames? Yeah, I dropped 0.6% of frames. Wait, am I just able to raise the bitrate? What if I just raise it? Wait, is it going to be good? Oh no. Apply. Okay, good luck. Okay, if I'm gonna lag, no, it's not that. Like 100% is probably something else. Yeah, who knows?
They will engage in violent rhetoric and then pretend to be victims right afterwards. Like, every group does this. The left will do this, the right will do this, but I need us all to accept that they're not different. And if you think they're different, you can just watch the behavior in front of you. How is this different from identity politics? How is this different from cancel culture? How is this different from all the stuff that I heard from conservatives for the last 10 years that the left does too much of? I don't know. All the crazy rhetoric, all the vilifying the other side, they all do it. Until we get past this point of pretending like the other side is a problem, we will never get past this point.
There's going to be a whole revolution. With all them guns around, there's going to be a whole civil war, I think.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Who knows? Anything else?
No.
All right, well, listen, let us know what you guys think. Do you guys disagree? Which side is wrong? Which side is correct? I want to hear from you.
Bro, you know in your heart, you know absolutely in your heart that that Abba and Preach are 100% like cheering and clapping when they were watching the Piers Morgan panel. I don't know if they'll ever comment positively on Destiny ever again, because who the fuck knows at this point. But like, I just know that they were probably cheering and clapping when they were watching the fucking Piers Morgan panel. Yeah. Most TV are 4K these days. Wait, why are you guys watching me on your TV anyway? Stop using the TV to watch things, okay? Just use a fucking regular monitor or a computer or a laptop. Jesus. Like, what the fuck? Okay, what is this? Okay, I don't have any drop frames so far. Yeah, there's no drop frames because right now there's 3,952 drop frames in total across this entire stream. Which I don't think Preach gives a fuck about Destiny. Yeah, but then Abba kind of pushed the whole thing onto Preach. Like Abba is clearly a big Steven fan regardless. Don't hate on the big screen. I will hate on the big screen. You're right. Why am I watching on TV when I have my phone? Honestly, right? Yeah. Dude, this is how I know my audience is older, because there is no Zoomer right now. There's no existing Zoomer that would ever watch on the big screen. Okay, period. All right, and you know that. That's a fact, okay? There is no Zoomer that is watching my streams on the big screen. This is how I know my audience is full of boomers and millennials and Gen X, okay? Which is objectively true if you look at the fucking, if you look at the age distribution of my audience. Yeah, the age distribution is like 30s. It's not 20s, it's 30s. Stop spamming chat, little fool. App name, by the way, for spamming chat. Wait. Guys, listen, we are... Listen, all right? We have our stats mog all other communities, okay? This is a fact. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. What is your partner status? Only 58% are single, which is fine, right? By the way, in other communities, this is like 90% or 85%. Single, 58%. Right? In-person relationship, married or long-distance relationship, it's like, it's 42%. Look how awesome this is. Like, look at this shit. This is like one of the most beautiful, like, fucking polls I've ever seen. Like this is like, oh my God, I'm just so happy about this. Yeah. Over 1K votes as well, all right? Yeah. Ask maidenless community, maybe. Lol, I'm 7%. Oh yeah, people want to ask me about my gender ratio, right? Like the gender ratio of my audience. Because right now I have a large enough audience now that I can get more accurate numbers. But because before it was so sporadic and so inaccurate, because depending on what drama topic I would cover, it just completely it could vary drastically, right? Because now I have a more of a core audience. So I'm just gonna see what is that real quick, actually. Let me see. You guys would love this, okay? This is like, for any data scientists out there, this is like crack cocaine for data scientists, okay? Like, to see YouTubers' backend information and the population demographics is great stuff. Oh, Well, it is like vast majority is male, but that's because I adopted the DGG audience. Look at this. Female, 6%. Male, 93%. This is on par with Stevens. This is on par with Stevens' distribution, for the record. However, you take a look at the age. Look at this. Look at this. So last night, one of my viewers in voice chat said I was a baby. 26 years old, okay? Maybe so in this audience, in this demographic, okay? But if you're in your 30s and you feel old, I just, listen, don't. Look at this 52%. What the fuck? Stop feeling old! Okay, sorry. All right, let's watch the second video now.
I think we can all agree everybody likes. I think we can all agree everybody likes cancel culture.
Everybody likes cancel culture?
Mm-hmm. Pam Bondi said one of the dumbest things you can say as an attorney general. Do we have it here? I'm looking at my SOT list. Yeah, here it is. It's unbelievable. There was absolutely no pushback, but here's
By the way, I would imagine for both Abba and Preach to be very, 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 very defending of Jimmy Kimmel, just mainly because these two are professional comedians, and if they are professional comedians who actually made it, I guess like they would consider free speech to be at the top of their list of priorities, especially when it comes to Jimmy Kimmel. So this is my guess, and I think that my guess is going to be correct. Okay, but who knows? Maybe not. All right, but considering their previous video, yeah, I think they're gonna definitely defend Jimmy Kimmel on this one nonstop. Yeah, absolutely.
what Pam said in SOT 18.
There's free speech, and then there's hate speech.
Getting old sucks as a 25-year-old. I'm 26.
And there is no place, especially now, especially after what happened to Charlie, in our society.
Do you see more law enforcement going after?
I couldn't believe.
Who said that?
Literally, this is what we started when we were in 2016. We were talking about stuff.
Yeah.
We were talking about, lefty spaces and cultural appropriation. Like, this was the kind of shit I would hear from those crazy motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And now it's like in the highest form of government, and they're saying hate speech is not free speech. Well, who defines what's hate speech? I'm having deja vu. Groundhog Day.
Oh.
I'm like, literally, when I heard this, I couldn't believe she had said that.
I swear to.
No, I mean, because I'm 26, time to move on. I will tell you, okay, getting my dream job at 26 is a good accomplishment, okay? I will say that. My dream job is streaming, yes. So getting my dream job going at the age of 26 is an accomplishment that is... I'm just satisfied. Okay, that's it. That's all I have to say. Okay.
No, I swear it was a couch there. I swear it was a couch there. I'm just surprised that her hair is blonde and not blue. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm good.
Do you see more law enforcement going after these groups who are using hate speech and putting cuffs on people, so we show them that some action is better than no action?
We will absolutely target you, go after you, if you are targeting anyone with hate speech.
Okay. That was crazy.
It's crazy because you're saying that because you're protecting Charlie, but Charlie was doing that. It's just not your people against your people, so you're okay with it. By your standard, by what you're saying, Charlie should have been in jail.
Well, what if a radical, crazy person gets into office on the left side and says that if you don't identify a trans person by the proper pronouns, that's hate speech? What then? Now, shout out to at least, Megyn Kelly here. I saw a couple other conservative creators who are actually speaking out against this because we all should.
There's no sentence that Charlie Kirk would have objected to more than that.
Hate speech does not exist legally in America. There's ugly speech, there's gross speech, there's evil speech, and all of it is protected by the First Amendment. Keep America free.
Okay, and this is like the point where I feel I'm back in 2015. I'm hearing throwback lines.
One of the most beautiful polls I've ever seen is a Pleasant Emo. Yeah, but Pleasant Emo has never posted his selfie before in the selfie channel, no? We have a selfie channel, by the way. We are very beautiful people.
I haven't heard of
objectively speaking.
Or that haven't been popular. And now they're being ushered by the Attorney General, which is pretty much the highest point you could be for the law. And I'm just like, it's up there. And when I'm like, and it's coming from a conservative person, I'm like, there's no way this is real. Listen to this.
I'm feeling throwback, but from the opposite side. Usually back in the days, the conservative people were saying like, hey, we can't say anything no more. But now, it's more liberal people are saying like, we can't say nothing no more.
Yeah.
That's the throwback is reversed. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And look, I said it before, right? I'll say it right now. I'm for people losing their job. If you want to post swastika and you want to say a bunch of rape or celebrate people dying and saying it's fucking, lose your job. You're a fucking idiot. Don't post that shit online, dummy. With that in mind, that's completely different.
Well. With that in mind, yeah, you got to talk about the double standards of the conservatives, right? You got to talk about how the conservatives are causing people to lose their jobs and going after people, and you have Asmongold openly advocating for doxing, for doxing people, and going after game developers on Blue Sky or something like that, even though he shows minimal level of evidence. Like, he doesn't even show the bare minimum of evidence to show that, something might warrant or understanding of losing someone's job, right? That is not proven to me via Asmongold's advocated action.
When
there's no justification for
talking
this.
About bringing the weight of the law in arresting you, I might fire you, but I'll fight for the fact that you should never go to jail for what you say. By sending them to jail, nah. This is where you start going Looney Tunes.
Everybody's a snowflake. Yeah. This is a snowstorm right now.
But in light of the Charlie Kirk stuff, there's been a lot of people.
Bro, what the fuck? That's a fire lying.
Who've been getting fired.
Everyone's a snowflake. And this is a snowstorm. Write this down. Write it down. Write it down. Write it down. Jesus.
By the administration. By
write it down.
I was just fired from my job. I was just fired from my job.
The Jimmy Kimmel stuff I thought was interesting. I heard what Jimmy Kimmel said that got him fired. Did you hear?
No.
New lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything.
Food, where's chat? I'm scared. Chat is just dead right now, okay? Don't worry about it.
Other than one of them, and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction.
This is objectively a good joke, okay? I mean, you can make fun of Jimmy Kimmel's, average Gen X humor, but, the thing is that that's objectively a good joke, okay? Get it? Because a lot of stages of grief end with Shen, and it's construction. Ha ha ha. Okay, it's not funny anymore now that I explained it.
Can you believe what we made? I was like, if my niggas talking about me, I'm like, hey, you never cared when I was.
No, you never cared.
That was so crazy. So it was funny.
Yeah.
The idea that the person who's in charge of the FCC went on a podcast, put pressure on ABC, which is the largest corporation and one of the largest media corporations.
And they have a license granted by us at the FCC, and that comes with it an obligation to operate in the public interest. I mean, look, we can do this the easy way or the hard way.
And threatened to lose the license.
Within hours.
And it is almost moments, literally, after that interview aired, that ABC announced that it would indefinitely pull the Jimmy Kimmel show.
Wait, is that Sagar? This is Sagar, right? From Breaking Points from Crystal Ball and Sagar, right? Yeah.
They shut down the whole show, and they didn't even want to, because apparently they had a board meeting, and when they had the board.
Oh yeah, and then I guess Jimmy Kimmel came back now. Yeah, if you guys don't know the news, Jimmy Kimmel came back. Where's the article? Hold on. I have it. Don't link me! Huh? Where is it? Yes, right here. So Jimmy Kimmel is coming back. Jimmy Kimmel returns, ABC... Stop! Jimmy Kimmel returns, ABC in suspension starting Tuesday. Stop! Disney and ABC will bring the comedian back to its schedule starting Tuesday night after a decision to take his show, Jimmy Kimmel Live. If you want to actually contribute like financially to supporting the free speech in general, you should start a subscription after he comes back. Support him. Support him, like, not because of his humor, but because you believe in the First Amendment. I don't know. You know, if you're ever interested in political activism and doing like some cool stuff, I guess. I'm not doing it, okay? But, you know, I'm just letting you guys know. Sinclair put out a contradictory tweet earlier. Really? They were still reviewing it. Did I fall for bait? Probably don't make Jimmy Kimmel and his audience of like 2 people sad. If you make a false alarm, fake alarm, false. It's probably the backlash, okay? It's probably the backlash.
Meeting, there's a lot of country because like people are like, he didn't say nothing that bad, but everyone's like, we can't afford to lose all this money.
They were losing their license.
That's right. And when you run a business, bro, you lose your license, everything's dead. Like your business is over.
Well, you can't.
So the idea that government is getting involved and getting people fired from their everyday jobs for speech that isn't that.
Oh, by the way, for people who don't know about this, dude, this has to be like one of the scariest infringes upon the First Amendment I have ever seen so far. Like, it is only getting worse. Like, infringing upon the First Amendment is only getting worse. Yeah, it's just very scary, obviously. But you guys don't need me to tell you guys that. I'm sure you guys know the ramifications.
At extreme,
yeah.
That should worry you. Afterwards, I think Jimmy made a stupid comment, something about like
it's like by far this is the worst one. Like, yeah, it is by far this is the worst one. Like, if you sign executive like orders to block opposing law firms from working against you, that's already infringing upon the First Amendment, in my opinion, right? Not legal expert or anything like that, but that's in my opinion from the principle of the First Amendment of how the government like interacts with speech. Not being able to use DEI terms in research papers and for research funding and stuff like that, in my opinion, is also infringing upon the First Amendment. However, directly trying to shut down criticism of you on a public TV show is the furthest that he has ever gone so far, okay? On top of every other infringement that he has done against the First Amendment, okay? So, yeah, just so you know.
We don't know if this is politically motivated or whatever it was. Like
new lows over.
Oh, I guess Disney will still be doing the show, but Sinclair will be doing different. They won't be showing it. Okay, I see. So that's still not good.
The weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them.
From all the messages, it looks like it's pretty clear that this is very politically motivated. Yeah. But you have the right to say stupid shit. Like, people are acting like his cancellation was super.
Right. A lot of people are saying, oh, well, I'm sure there's at least one person out there saying, well, who cares if Jimmy Kimmel gets canceled? Nobody likes watching Jimmy Kimmel anyway. That's not the point, you fucking retard. Okay, what if using this as precedent, what if somebody you actually like gets taken off the air by the government? Like, what the fuck? So, like, whether or not somebody should be taken off the air by the government should be decided by the government? Like, what the fuck? What if Jimmy Kimmel is actually funny? Now you'd be against it?
Deserved for this specifically. And in my head, I'm like, if you think someone deserves, everybody should be fired on that. Do you know how many people make wrong takes or make some stupid fucking take? This wasn't even that bad. Every time we allow somebody to be incredibly corrupt because it benefits us, when the shoe's on the other foot, it'll be too late because you already tied the shoelaces on the other one. And bitch, no one walking out with one shoe. This is ABC, right? That means that.
Bro, that's another file line. Write that down.
Anybody online has no chance. If the FCC comes for YouTube or the FCC comes from any of these social media platforms and applies a little pressure, your channel's getting banned within seconds. We've already seen how flimsy YouTube is. You never want government officials to get a carte blanche and to be cheered when they are canceling people like this. The idea that the president is getting involved and cheering on the fact that they're firing all these people is bad. And I think I've come to terms with the fact that I don't even think I necessarily totally disagree with cancel culture.
But we know you don't disagree with cancel culture.
That's right. If you're a prankster, you get canceled. Now, people say that's not cancel culture.
That's consequences.
It is. Well, that's also cancel culture. If you do a campaign to get somebody fired for things that they said by contacting their employer,
it's cancel culture.
That's cancel culture, right? I've come to accept that everybody is for cancel culture. You've heard all levels of politician. You've heard people on the right, left, saying these people should lose their job for celebrating. I'm like, okay. But then there's people who get fired just for saying, I don't like the guy. There's some people who they made a post quoting some of the horrible things that they felt Charlie said, and they also got fired. And people contacted their job. Libs of TikTok made a post. This police officer basically said, listen, and even though I don't wish him harm or whatever, I'm not going to sit here and mourn his death. Is that a fireable thing? It is today. I think we can all agree, or most of us can agree. We probably have a point or a threshold where if you do something beyond this.
Did you hear Disney getting boycotted? Yeah, good luck. I'm sure this time it will work. Do you know how many times people have tried to boycott Disney? Or boycott any large media company? I mean, unless you're, this is, I mean, hopefully it'll work. I mean, fuck, but it's fucking Disney, okay?
Line, if you lose your line of employment, if you are made to pay financially, economically, whatever it might be, most of us don't care. Would you agree?
I'm not surprised though.
I think the main thing is just like we all have a different threshold, and some people's threshold for what that line is much lower.
Some people's threshold for what that line is if it happens to them or their side.
Sure,
that's
absolutely.
That's their threshold. They're not for, well, you're canceling me because it happens to them, but when it's for the other person, the other side,
sure,
then it's all good.
Look at this, right? So someone else posted, I tried to hold my tongue, but I genuinely do not know how any person could be saying Charlie Kirk was a good man. Of course, it was awful. He was shot. So were more children at a school in Colorado yesterday. Yet most of you haven't said a thing about any of the other 45 this year. Someone who didn't believe in and ... whatever. To me, that's not fire.
Wait, was anybody here when we watched Stephen Miller's speech? Oh, the boycott did happen. Oh, okay. All right, I see. Anyway. I forgot that my audience was for millennials who actually subscribe to Disney Plus. Sorry. Did anybody see the Stephen Miller speech? Holy shit. Like, that is actually Hitler shit. Like, that's unironically Hitler shit. Unironically. If you're Jewish and you're pro-Israel, your inner Jew should be tingling right now, okay? Your generational trauma should be tingling, okay? Because it's that unhinged.
That's not past the threshold. But the fact that some people think it is where I think this stuff goes well beyond the pale. And I think we should institute some level of shame. This kind of speech, whilst it's legal and you shouldn't be in prison for it, there should be social consequences. Why? Because we've gotten to the point now where everyone's posting swastikas. People are posting all kinds of salutes. People are out here saying some of the most foul and disgusting things about children every day or whatever it might be. And these things aren't even like being socially reproached online. I'm like, isn't that shit? I hope those people get canceled. I'll be honest with you. You want to get online and say a bunch of race? I hope you get the same lady who yelled at that 13-year-old autistic boy when called him an N-word on camera proudly. What did conservatives do? They started a GoFundMe and they put money in her pockets.
True.
I'm not even gonna call it cancel culture anymore.
Well, we'll also state the amount of money she earned. She earned over $1 million. And by the way, Asmongold made a video supporting her. So just by the way, okay, Asmongold is pro hate speech. Okay, Asmongold is pro it. It isn't a neutral position. It isn't a neutral position. It isn't. It isn't. Oh yeah, this is an asshole thing to do, but I don't think she did it. He is pro hate speech. Okay, he put out a video at some point praising and defending her. Okay. I don't think you guys realize how radicalized Asmongold is now. Like, this guy, like, he is actually extremely radicalized right now. Like Asmongold is unironically extremely radicalized right now. Did Rob do one? I don't know.
I think we're living
I don't catch
in
up to
an
everything
age
Rob does.
of outrage
No,
capitalism.
sorry.
The lefts are accusing the rights of doing something that they're doing themselves, and vice versa. They're benefiting from people being pissed off at each other. The product is anger. And the winner is not the blue, the red, the purple. It's green. It's money. It benefits people. It benefits you, the news. Hell, it benefits podcasters as well. Anger is not a way to do revolution. It's a subscription. You subscribe to who you want to be pissed off against, and then you consume products through that hate. We've never been for extremes around here.
I could be wrong, but if we played out clips of us, I think we might have been one of those people saying that cancel culture, I'm not for it.
Which I understand, but I think that in context, we're talking about a specific way.
Sure.
We're saying that, hey, what's happening there, I'm not for that. Even Charlie Kirk being canceled for life, that's not fair. That's not right.
That's a form of cancel culture too. Because if you think what cancel culture is, right? It's essentially you being
cocksleeve,
punished for
Maggot.
speech.
Yes, that's the extreme
Or beliefs
that's the extreme
that people find socially reprehensible, right? So it could be financially, it could be through a boycott, through governmental means, or the most ultimate form would be to take the person's life, right?
Deletion.
I guess the boycott did work.
You not comfortable or not being able to say these things without repercussion, right? There should never be something that's permissible or allowed, but you're starting to see how like authoritarianism and these ideas of like basically coming down on ideas of what you say, how you think, it's happening everywhere.
I'm happy that even some people on the right are like, what is this? They're catching on.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong, but where? Like, I would love to see people on the right also denouncing this, but I just haven't really seen any examples. Like, I don't know. Again, it seems like always they seem pretty lockstep with one another. So I don't know. I just don't know like where this is happening on the right. I don't know.
They're like, no, this is a bit much.
It's happening on all sides of the aisle, and I truly feel like how we came in here at first when we started on YouTube and talking
Maybe I'm
about
blind.
leftist crazy.
I guess I
now
haven't
we're doing
checked.
the other side now. And we're getting to do, and it's the same shit.
Remember a week ago when I told you the pendulum thing?
Oh yeah.
Yo, that thing is swinging.
Swinging. What me and Preach were doing back then when we were talking against a lot of this stuff was.
They show 2 examples. What? Hello? Where?
Unpopular. You know how much flack we got from
I was paying attention.
Dude.
From talking against cancel culture, for talking against a lot of this stuff. We're getting the same thing, but on the other side now. And as a result, there was some oppressive stuff that they were doing in terms of how they came down on people. 100%. And now that it's
Tucker Carlson and Ben Shapiro called it out, I think. Oh, really? Oh, interesting. Okay, that's pretty good.
On the other side, they're doing the same.
I wouldn't have put money on it, but thankfully, did I actually miss it? Fuck me. What? Sauger doesn't count, by the way. I don't think Sauger considers himself a. I don't see anything.
The fact that they're like, well, this is a bit much. I'm like, okay, there's hope.
Hope.
One of the rare times that
I can't believe that you and I are in the opposite.
Don't give
side
me
of
hope.
this. I'm going to be the pessimist today. I don't think there's hope.
Today we switched? I'm usually the group you are getting old. Welcome to the
I don't even know if I'm getting old. I think there's a lot of reasons to just look at the world and go, oh yeah, there's very little odds that we're coming back.
No, their criticism does mean something, but it's not enough. Not even close to enough. Like even if people on the right like denounce it, I think it should be tit for tat, right? If they denounce once, then you denounce something once. If they don't denounce anymore, you do not denounce anymore. It's really as simple as that. Do tit for tat. Tit for tat, or otherwise no tit for tat. Otherwise it's like, yeah. Because if in a live debate and they concede to you that they thought it was wrong and they denounced it or something live, then you also denounce the left once, okay? Tit for tat. Yeah. But you don't do it first. Do not, for the love of God, do it first, okay? Make them do it first. And only do it once.
When have you seen us turn around extremism? All I've seen is the world go crazier and crazier and crazier, and then crazier, 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 crazier. It's like the swing just gets wider.
What's next?
I think that all that's going to happen is that corporate interests are going to take over, and our government is just going to be corporations soon.
Oh yeah, I agree.
We've already been moving in that direction. The relationship between government and corporations is just becoming more and more intertwined, and soon it's going to be all just big corporations that run everything. And cyberpunk, I can't wait. I want to get prosthetic limbs. I'm already accepting my fate.
He's talking about it.
Dude, I'm about to. I'm going to be a Ripper Doc. It's going to be great.
Dick.
Legs, arms, Everything. I'm getting the eye patch, everything.
Oh, you
Yeah, X-ray vision. I'm seeing all the naked ladies. It's not cheating.
Google Gadget.
Yeah. So for me, like, do I have optimism? Not really.
But can you wait for it? You can't.
Okay, cool. All right, yeah, there you go. That's the context for their debate, I guess. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm gonna be right back. Oh, there's a Legal Eagle video. I'll play that in the meantime. While I go to the bathroom. I don't like reacting to Legal Eagle. I just don't know shit. So it's like, it just feels like I'm just like not really much. What is this?